Hey there, Summer of Success. Well, we are in our last couple days together. This group finishes up this weekend, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Virtual Summit happening in just like 10 days. Before we get there, I want to talk to you a little bit about that. So I'm going to give you a minute or two to hop on. We're going to chat just a little bit about that. And then I want you to get back to work because it's July 2nd. We have a launch next week. So I really want you to get back to work promoting that launch, talking about that launch. But I want to talk to you a little bit about Virtual Summit first. So I'm going to give you a couple minutes, tag your teammates coming on. I promise I'm going to keep this short and sweet, but I want to give you a little bit of experience that I've had with Summit, even though this one will be a little bit different than what we've experienced. So I want to give you a little perspective and what I've learned, especially regarding social media. So just tag your teammates, come on. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and then we're going to get back to work. Big launch next week, July 7th. Amazing coach window to grab that program, to get into that program, to dig into that program. I'll also share with you something that I sort of came to the realization over this week doing some thinking on it. I believe that I was going to start so this is a little bit tidbit for you as you're thinking about when you're going to start your program. I'm going to get, of course, Muscle Burns Fat next week, and I'm going to share it, promote it, talk the heck out of it, and really talk about how advantageous it is to be a coach. Because if you're joining as a coach, you're joining with a Performance Line or Shakeology and getting that discount right away, especially at a time when people are concerned about income, and then having the opportunity to bring some friends along with you to the party and create a little bit of income. I'm going to be talking about that all the time. But I'm not actually going to start my challenge group until August 3rd, I think it is. I think that's that first Monday in August. And I've been waffling a little bit on that as far as that start date, and just thinking about it this past week and thinking about when to start it. I decided that's when I'm going to start it, because I want to get through all of July focusing on coach enrollments, focusing on Virtual Summit, which we're going to talk about in a minute, and then focusing on those last few days of customer enrollments, and then getting everyone into our group, our team group, and having it start in August. And if we do that, by the time we finish MBF, one round of that, we can go right into MBFA. So I'm sharing that with you just as a little side note, extra tidbit. If you're wondering when you want to start your program, I would advise against starting a challenge group on July 7th, but absolutely, once I get that program dropped into my BOD account, I am absolutely starting it. I want to be getting the results myself. I want to get more dialed in. So I want to be getting the results personally, because remember, as a coach, the first person we actually coach is ourselves. And I need that program to get myself more dialed in. And so that's where I'm going to start. But then as a coach, we help ourselves, but then we also help others, and giving ourselves that entire month of July gives us time to talk about this program so we can help others. And then as we get them into our group, and they can be starting that program, absolutely. And then I have a feeling it's going to take a lot of people, more than one round of MBF to be ready for MBFA, which is perfect. So they could start that in July. And then remember, we help others help others. So as they're doing that program in July, they can then be videoing it, sharing it on social, talking about it, getting results from it. And it becomes the next logical step to help others. Yeah. So that timetable felt like it was right for me. I want you to put some thought into it. And remember, this is really key. Nobody outside the Beachbody world knows when the launch is. Only the Beachbody world knows when the launch is. Nobody does. So if you're worried about, and I had a conversation with the coach about this too, if you're worried about missing the launch window is when you decide it is. And as long as you're doing it within sometime in July or August, and you're capitalizing on the momentum that's happening in the network with the launch, it doesn't matter if you start at July 7th or August 3rd. Nobody outside Beachbody knows when this program officially launches, if that makes sense. So don't get caught up in, I have to launch and start my group on July 7th just because that's when the program comes out. No, you got to start your group when it works for you, in your timeline, and your people are following you. Your people aren't following Carl Eichler. They have no idea when the program launches. They only know what you tell them. And if you tell them that your group starts on August 3rd, that's all they care about. So please don't get caught up in feeling like you have to start your group on July 7th. Nobody knows when the launch date is. We know when the launch date is. And the beautiful part about that is it does allow us to get in the program, to drop it into BOD, to show people Beachbody on demand. Like for me, I'm not in my home right now, and I could show it on my laptop and how it's dropping right into my laptop, and you could show it on your iPad or on your phone, or so if you're traveling, and you can show it on Beachbody on demand, and you can show yourself doing the workouts, and you can demo, how awesome and effective and efficient the workout is, and people can be watching you and go, oh, that looks cool. When's your group start? Well, it starts whenever you decide it starts. So just make sure you're capitalizing on the launch for your own self, dialing it in for your own self. The first person you coach on your coaching journey is you. So you're dialing it back in and learning about the program, exploring the program, getting the results yourself, and then you're helping others with that program, and then you're helping others help others with the program. So the launch can be as catalytic for your business as you choose it to be. It could be a non-issue. It could be nothing in your business if you choose that to be. So you've got to choose to make it something really special, create a lot of FOMO about it. Actually, I think what's better than FOMO, fear of missing out, what I think is more powerful is fear of being left out, FOBLO. So let's create some of that in the most positive way that we possibly can, and help people understand that if they're not getting in with this program, they're being left out of something really amazing. So really spend some time this weekend before the launch on the 7th to decide when your group will start, how you are going to message it, what you're going to be talking about, and know that just because it launches on the 7th doesn't mean it goes away on the 8th. You're getting it on the 7th, and then friends, you need to be talking the heck out of it all during July, whenever your group starts. And so those people that for whatever reason aren't ready to join as a coach, by the time the end of July comes, they're like chomping at the bit, ready to get it as a customer, because you've been talking about it so much, and you yourself on your personal journey are getting your results too. So that's kind of a side note, but I hope that that's helpful. So drop some hearts or some thumbs up in the comments, or throw some comments up if that's helpful for you, or if you've got any questions about that. Do that. I'm going to run and grab my water. I'll be right back. But put some stuff in the comments. Let me know that you're with me on that. And if you've got questions, drop them there too. Good. Okay. Excellent. Also, you guys, I have to tell you that I wish I would have, we did not bring our Recover up here, and I wish I would have it only for my dogs, because you should see my dogs right now. We took them on a walk, and we're in Wisconsin, so the elevation is higher, and we took them on like a normal length walk that we normally take them on every morning. They're wiped out, like absolutely dead right now. So that just shows again what a little bit of a change, even for a pet. Jesse and I were like I was feeling my legs today. We worked out outside today. A little bit of a change, what that can do, that can trigger even more excitement. It can get you even more results. And so that's definitely going to be what happens with MBF as well. It's going to be different. It's going to take a little bit to wrap your head around. It's going to, and as soon as my weights get here tonight with my husband, I'm going to do the sample workout again tomorrow, and I'm going to be filming that and talking about that tomorrow and getting that up again. But it's such a great, well thought out, well researched, well put together program, but it might be something different than what you've done previously. And that little bit of a shift could be something that really generates momentum, not just in your own personal health and fitness journey, but also in your business. So let it embrace the fact that it's a little bit different, maybe a little bit uncomfortable, something you haven't done before, and let it be a catalyst for pushing your business and your health and fitness journey forward and giving you a beautiful new talking point. Also, my salted caramel Shakeology, finally came. So my husband caught the FedEx guy on, like, literally was leaving, caught the FedEx guy. So he's bringing that up. So we'll be able to make that, because I am now sadly out of pumpkin spice Shakeology. So hopefully salted caramel. And if you have any good recipes for salted caramel, please put them on your stories and tag me so that Jesse and I can see them, because Jesse was in love with it when we tried it before, and so was my husband. So let me know your recipes for salted caramel. Now let's talk about Virtual Summit. Speaking of salted caramel and it being an announcement that we got, on Super Saturday, let's talk about Virtual Summit, because you're going to get announcements there. And the piece that I really want to make sure that I communicate to you, what I want to message very clearly to you, and I'm going to let you get back to work, is remember, just like nobody knows when the launch date is of MBF, nobody knows what Virtual Summit is. Nobody knows that. So if you are using the words Virtual Summit without any explanation behind it, nobody knows what that means. So when you're talking about what you will be doing in about 10 days on your social media, you really have to explain that. It would be the same as if you just randomly in a social media post use the acronym BOD. Well, unless you're in the Beachbody world, you don't know what BOD means. And here is your assignment. About a year ago, gosh, maybe it was 2 years ago. Maybe it was. Go back and search for it. In the National Wake Up Call, Chalene Johnson did a national wake up call about talking on social media about your business. I want to say it was March or April. I know I was on spring break, so it was March or April. Maybe it wasn't 2019, maybe it was 2018. Go look it up. Go to the National Wake Up Call archives, go to the podcast or in the Beachbody TBB 411, look up Chalene Johnson's National Wake Up Call, and she talks about talking about what we do on social media, and very specifically, articulates how when we say acronyms like BOD, people don't know what that is. People don't know what Beachbody On Demand is. So when we're talking about Virtual Summit, nobody knows what that is unless you're in the Beachbody world. So start thinking now, because you've got 10 days, right? Start thinking now. First of all, how are you going to talk about this on your social media? And if we weren't virtual, what would it normally look like? I shouldn't use the word normally, because normally almost implies like we're going back to that. That y'all, we're creating a new world, okay? We're creating a new world that we get to actually create with intention and purpose right now. This is 2020 is almost a metamorphosis year. We're creating something new. So there's no going back to what we were. What we were in a lot of ways wasn't working. So I don't even want to say what we would normally be doing right now, but what we have done in the past for this summit event, how has that looked? And what we're doing this year, how does it look? And how can you articulate a message that on your social that doesn't use the words Virtual Summit until you've explained it? Because nobody knows what that is. Nobody knows what BOD is. Nobody knows what Beachbody On Demand is. They only know what streaming platform for fitness. They would know what that would make sense to them, yeah? I usually say it's my streaming platform for fitness, like Disney Plus. That gives them some context. But if I just said Beachbody On Demand, they may not know what that is. If we just say Virtual Summit, how do they know what that is? Drop some hearts in the comments, or a smiley face, or a thumbs up if you're understanding what I'm saying, if this is making sense. We have to be so cognizant of how we're messaging what we're doing that week. Let me know if you feel me on that. As a matter of fact, if it makes sense to you, I want you to type BOD in the comments. Go, BOD. And then when you look at it, you won't wonder why people don't know what that is. Type it in the comments if it makes sense to you. Lots of hearts, little smiley face, little smiley face. Yeah. Yes. Awesome. See, like when you look at it, you're like, what the heck does that even mean? What does that even mean? Nobody knows what that means. Okay, so now in terms of Virtual Summit, you've got 10 days to be thinking about how you're going to message that on social media. Think about what what is Virtual Summit about? It's about community. It's about connection. It's about engagement. It's about announcements. It's about learning. It's about growth. It's about personal growth. It's about business mentorship. It's like a classroom for your business. It's about being surrounded with other people who get you, who feel you, who understand this, right? So can you communicate all those pieces without saying Virtual Summit? Can you communicate what it is without just saying Virtual Summit? Is that the one? Rachel, girl, it can't be 2017. 3 years ago? Like, that cannot be. Holy cow, if it is, y'all, time moves so fast, right? Like, where did June go? Carl Douglas, Chalene Johnson, that might be, yeah, that's probably it. 3 years ago. Okay, so first of all, the fact that I thought it was last year and it was actually 2017 should be proof to you how quickly time goes. June's gone. The first 6 months of 2020 are gone. We're in the second half of 2020. So we got to decide right now what we're doing with it, because clearly 3 years have gone since she talked about this, but it doesn't make anything that she talked about less relevant, because it's super relevant. And she talks specifically about BOD and how not to use that acronym and what to say instead. And so I want you to listen to that podcast today, please. It's super valuable. I've listened to it multiple times. It's so good. So when you're talking about Summit, you're talking about what it is and what you gain from it. And now here's the connector. Why someone should want to be a part of it. Yeah? Because when you're thinking about Summit, for me, the most important part that comes out of it is the community. It's the fact that you could shut us in a room with one of our super trainers, lock the doors and go, oh, you thought we were here for 30 minutes? We're actually here for 2 hours. And the entire room would be like, yes, because we get it. We get each other. We are like-minded people. And when you finally find your people, it's like a magnet and you want to spend more time with them, right? So that's what you're communicating with people, that even though we might not be able to gather in person, we are gathering still to create that community feeling, that connection with each other, because we get it. And here's why you should be a part of this too. That's the other half. That's the piece that a lot of coaches miss is, and here's why you should be a part of this too. I'm going to give you an example that I don't want to see on any of your social media. And I'm going to tell you how to fix it. So have you ever seen, or maybe have you ever done, one of those pictures with your trainer, your favorite super trainer? So let's say Joel Freeman was at your Super Saturday event, okay? And you got to take a picture with him. So it's you and Joel Freeman. Jesse, come here a minute. Just come here for a second. Okay, so I'm you. Jesse's Joel Freeman. And you're like this. And then you're like... And then your caption, thank you. That's your picture. And then your caption's like this: love this guy. And that's what you post. Not one person outside the Beachbody world who you're trying to message to, who you're trying to communicate to, who you're trying to talk to, knows who that is or cares. They don't know and they don't care. And I see that over and over and over after every Super Saturday event, after every summit. This is awesome. I love this guy. Nobody cares. Nobody knows who it is. So, example on how to fit. Yes, I know. We've all done it. So now we know better. Now we know better. Now we know better. Example. Go to my, not right now, but go to my Instagram. And on Saturday, Friday or Saturday, just a few days ago, I posted a picture from a private PiYo workout that I got to do with Chalene. Chalene's on the screen. I'm standing there and I'm pointing to her. So the picture's kind of similar to that, like, and then I want you to read the caption and understand what I did, because nobody knows why that PiYo workout with Chalene Johnson was so special to me unless I tell them. Nobody knows why Joel Freeman might be your guy unless you tell them. Nobody knows why Amwala is your guy unless you tell them. So what makes Joel Freeman, your guy. Okay, maybe Lift 4 was the very first program that you completed, start to finish. Maybe when you did that program, it created more than just weight loss in you. Maybe it gave you confidence and strength mentally, not just physically. Maybe you really resonate and connect with Joel's style of coaching. Maybe you love the fact that Lift 4 was 4 days a week and you could still train for your half marathon other days of the week, or get your yoga classes in other days of the week. Maybe you love Joel's philosophy on, this 85-15% kind of balance, the way he lives his life. There could be a myriad of reasons why, for example, you fell in love with Lift 4 and you absolutely love Joel Freeman. But nobody knows that until you tell them. And if you're not telling them, you're also not giving them the opportunity to connect with that story and fall in love with him or that program or any of our other programs too. So when I talked about that PiYo workout, I talked about how it felt like when I was just starting out as a master trainer, and how I've been learning from Chalene for what feels like my entire life. And it felt like being home to me doing that PiYo workout. It feels like it's such a fabric of who I am. And I didn't ever think I would do another live PiYo workout with Chalene again. And she was the person who was such a mentor and influence in my life. And she literally changed my life. And all that is in my post with the picture of her in the background. So now the picture of her on the screen and me makes a whole lot more sense to someone, because there's a story attached to it. And they might look at that and go, oh, I have someone like that in my life too. Or, oh, Chalene did that for me too. Or, oh, I wish I had someone like that in my life. Wherever they are in their story, they're going to connect with you with your story. So one of the most important pieces that I want you to understand as we head 10 days into Virtual Summit is not only how you're going to message the entire event, but how are you going to message the different pieces of the event. Starting on Monday of that week, there are different workouts dropping in Beachbody On Demand every single day. So how are you going to message those workouts? Just the fact that you're doing a Tony Horton workout, or that you're doing a Tony Horton workout who Tony Horton with P90X literally changed the game for at-home fitness. The reason why Megan Davies has a program today is because Tony Horton changed the game 20 years ago. And you get to do a workout with him, this legend in fitness. And how cool is that something that happened 20 years ago affects something that happens today, and you get to be a part of something that's bigger than just a workout. Is that what you're going to say about the workout? Or are you just going to go, love this guy? What's the story behind each of the pieces of what's happening in Virtual Summit? What's the story behind why you're showing up when everyone's so Zoom weary and tired of being on our screens? Well, y'all, this is our life for a long time. Till there's a vaccine, this is our life. And knowing that, embracing that, also gives permission for other people to kind of go, okay, you know what? I need to stop fighting the fact that life is different now, and I need to get on board with this, because here's my friend over here doing this really cool summit thing that she keeps talking about, and everything is on Zoom, and yet she seems like she's having a really great time. You having a really great time virtually, when so many people are so tired of virtual, you having a really great time virtually, sharing your stories about all these pieces, sharing your story about why you're showing up for it, sharing your story about how you feel when you show up for it, could inspire someone else to go, all right, you know what, I got to get on board with this, because we got the second half of 2020 and we get to create it. We get to create it. We do. Because we can't control a lot that's happening in the world, but holy schmoly, we can control our perception, our mindset, our attitude, our work ethic, all of that. And that mindset and that perception, that actually affects and informs how we view all that stuff in the world. If we're coming at everything like it's just so overwhelming and it's just so much harder for me and it's just so hard, that's what's going to be. That's your reality. And to me, that seems like a sucky way to live, especially when we have a choice to view it a different way. So what if you showing up every day on your social media and talking about how you're connecting virtually, you're staying engaged virtually, you're finding your community virtually? What if that inspires someone who thought that life was so hard to see, you know what, maybe it's not. And maybe they need a community like you to help them understand that it's not so hard, that we're sort of all in this together, you know? The theme of Summit this year is better together. How can you message that over and over and over and over again in your social media? Because it is the truth, my friends. We are better together. No one, not one person builds this business on their own. And anyone who tells you or tries to teach you that you do, I'm going to say right now is wrong. You are in this business for yourself, for your goals and for your dreams, for your family. You're in this business for yourself, but you're not in this business by yourself unless you choose that to be. And what a shame that would be, because we truly are better together. Why not tap into the incredible resources and power of a team, of a community? Why not lean into that, message what you're feeling by being a part of something so powerful, and give that gift of community to other people who don't even know this exists. And they're not going to know it exists if you post a picture by your screen going, I love this guy. They don't know why you love them or how you feel when you show up for that workout, or what that workout has done for you, or what this business has done for you, what this community has done for you. And you know, I've said it before over and over again, I see coaches go through hard times in life. We all have hard times in life. Y'all, if you think, come on now. Every human on the planet has a hard time in life. And over again, I see coaches who walk away from the very entity, this business, that makes every part of your life better. And so many people out there need what we have, but they don't know that until you really message what it is that they have. I want you to think of, as an example, Elise. When Elise does any kind of bar blend workout, she is messaging the entire time about bar blend, what it can do for you, how it's formatted, how her experience and how she created it. She is messaging the entire time she does any kind of bar workout for the network, because she's assuming you don't know. And so she's messaging that to you all the time. She's talking to the person who doesn't know anything about bar blend. I want you to do that for Virtual Summit. I want you to message and talk to the person who knows nothing about this community, nothing about this connection, nothing about this business, nothing about this opportunity. They know nothing about how every single piece of it can make your life better. They know nothing about this superfood shake or this magical life-changing elixir called Energize. Like, they know nothing about it. That's what I want you to assume, and that's who I want you to talk to from now on and all the way through Summit. And think of Elise when you're doing that, and how she messages and how she talks to the person, assuming they know nothing. And she's educating them the entire time, talking about bar blend, so that when they finish that workout, they've got this understanding, this context of what it would feel like if they did 8 weeks of it. That's what you're going to do for Virtual Summit. So when someone reads your post, when they watch your stories, when they see your IG live or your IGTV and you're talking about it, they're going to walk away with an understanding of what Summit is, what it means to you, and why they should be a part of it. That's the key. That's the game changer. All right? It is July 2nd. Let's get back to work, because we're in the second half of 2020. I hope you found this group valuable. I hope you've tapped into all the resources that we've been offering you each day, and I hope you've used it to be your best and to really drive your business forward. And until the time that we actually get to see each other in person, I encourage you, choose what you want the rest of this year to look like, because it really is up to you. How you view the world, that will be the world that you create. So make it a good choice, my friends. Make it a good choice. And here's cheers to the rest of 2020. And I'll see you at Virtual Summit. Yes, tag me in all your posts that you do on stories. I want to see what you're posting. I want to see you telling your stories about what this means to you. All right? Make it a great Thursday, and happy 4th of July weekend.